Well, you didn't ask me about any of my surgeries. And I'm like, when's that question? I thought
So
this
did you
was-
get the surgery? Why didn't you
I
ask?
thought this was a trans production. You don't know you don't want to know about my family and whether they still love me or not.
Right. We're in a polyamorous relationship with you, me, frozen yogurt, and nuance.
Elle and Ezra, take 2.
What does trans love mean to you?
Trans love means everything to me.
Trans love is who we are at our core. We have to assign words to these things. Without the words, it just is. Like it is everything.
Who said I love you first?
The night that I started feeling sick when we both got COVID.
Right.
So you said that night to me, I think I'm falling in love with you.
Wow.
And I was like,
Bold.
sure. I didn't say it back. We got really sick and then we were like quarantining together. We built a fort
Right.
in my studio apartment. You said, I love you. And then you were like, will you be my girlfriend? And I was
Wow.
like, I love you too. And yeah. So you said it first.
I said it first.
You did, but I probably felt it first, let's be honest.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Maybe we both felt it, but like,
You were more all in
yeah, for sure.
first because I was really scared of committing to another person at the time. I had just broken up with someone else and then I fell in love with you. So
Our traumas complement each other and also conflict with each other in the perfect spots.
literal opposites.
Yes. Our like trigger points like rub up against each other in the places where we need to like heal the most. Having this like safe space to talk and process through that is how we like rebuild those pathways.
I don't think that I could have been with Elle at any other point in my transition because I hadn't really learned how to cry until like maybe a year before Elle and I got together for real. I felt so like such a shell that was like slowly being melted away very like carefully, like the outside of an M&M, if you will. If it was melting, not
Right.
not biting through it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
People had tried to bite for a long time, but that doesn't work. That didn't work for me. This is a bad
No, it's
analogy.
a great metaphor.
The M&Ms, because they are not that strong. So,
That's a soft shell crab.
and now I'm just a squishy little flubber
Yeah.
Pillsbury boy.
You are that.
I am,
Oh.
but I wasn't when we met. I was really like, I had a whole thing going on, facade thing.
But I will say that your shell was like this effervescent,
Sure.
giant smiled, like,
Toxic positivity, charming little sprite.
which still is very much part of you. It just
Absolutely.
is like,
It was based on the real thing.
yeah, totally. I came out 2 years before we got together. I spent a lot of time with myself because I realized like I had no idea what my perspective on anything was. Like my entire sense of self and belief system was pieced together by what I thought would make me the most successful member of society. That time alone really allowed me to figure out like, actually, who am I? That also was a huge reason why I was so ready to jump into
Yeah.
this relationship. And I think that's what relationships are for, to find someone to help like tickle the youest parts of you.
It was about comfort and like ease. We could be in a room and not talking and just being in each other's space. And I didn't feel like I needed to go recharge afterwards. And that was so new for me. I always felt like I would never meet my match for real. I dated around and been in relationships since I was 12, pretty much never single. I was in search of someone who could match me in a way. Once I found you, I stopped searching. So
What compliment do you think your partner needs to hear more often? Whispered into each other's ear.
Thanks. I shared to Ezra that he's incredibly thoughtful and reliable and trustworthy. That's probably what I notice you're hardest on yourself with. We make human mistakes. I notice you like attaching that to it being a character flaw instead of a reflection of your humanity, which is the best thing about you. I trust you so much. You are like incredibly reliable. I just don't think you give yourself enough credit there.
I do believe it.
Yeah,
now.
I know.
I said to Elle that their imperfections are perfect and that they're absolutely lovable. I find you critiquing yourself a lot and focusing on things that could be labeled as imperfections. It's important to remember how perfect all of you is. I like to remind you of a lot.
Pretty, please. Don't you ever
I sing Pink to
perfect.
yeah.
I love you.
What is the most quirky thing your partner does for their night or morning ritual?
The most quirky thing that Ezra does in the morning is looks at me and goes, "Get up."
Once I'm up, I am up.
Yeah.
And I will wake Elle up just by like getting really, really close to their face in the morning and then like kind of just like subtly touching them so that they just open their eyes. And then I'm like smiling. And I'm ready.
You'll be brushing your teeth, full like wide legged, and you'll be like, yeah. And it's like, it's time to get groovy.
I'm like really excited in the mornings.
Yeah.
Like I'm like this whole day.
Yeah.
For crafts, for anything.
Yeah.
For crafts,
For crafts.
coffee.
Uh-huh.
Come on. You get the zoomies at night.
I do.
Elle will get sleepy and then get a second wind and then rile our dogs up at night to start playing on the bed that I'm about to sleep in. And it's very quirky. It's very funny.
I'm a quirky girl.
You're just a quirky girl. You get real zoomy.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
get zoomy and then I immediately pass out.
I like sit with the thoughts that swirl and don't leave. And so I have to drown them out with Bob's Burgers or the Great British Baking Show or Parks and Rec.
Uh-huh.
What's your partner's pet peeve?
When there's like water on the floor, they'll scrunch their feet and stand on the sides of them in the most like crazy way. Where they're like their toes are curled and they're on the sides of their feet if there's like any water on the floor or any crumbs or anything.
Yeah.
And it's a sight.
It can't
to
be
see.
good for my joints.
No.
I have a very big sensory thing with my feet. Like I literally just took off my sandals because I felt a crumb.
Probably one crumb.
Yeah, for sure. My feet feel dirty even though they're not. Your pet peeve? Well, recently it's this noise that I make.
No.
And then sometimes I get like this hyperfixation on like weird body things.
That
like this
is the
too,
other thing.
with my
I can't
nails.
stand that one.
And then you go,
Well, because you'll be holding my hand and then do that,
Yeah.
and it's like I can feel it
Yeah.
and hear it.
If your partner was an animal, what would they be and why?
you'd be a monkey because you are so nimble and you jump up on surfaces. And sometimes I walk into the room and you're upside down.
That's so true. Maybe you'd be... No, they're too graceful.
Yeah, I'm not that. I like to present.
I was going to say elk, but...
Elk.
Yeah. Okay, see, anything I say, you're going to react like that.
I contain multitudes. I'm
Maybe like a bird of some sort.
probably a bird.
Let's say flamingo.
That's what I was thinking.
Are you
'Cause-
serious?
Yes, because
Because
they're
girls
like,
are pink. Oh,
you know,
we do gender
We do
as a
gender.
binary.
I'm a pink bird and you're
I'm a blue monkey.
Oh.
All right. Next.
I want to see that on a shirt, please.